As I leave the gym, finishing this nice gruesome leg workout at 1 a.m. in the morning, I'm thinking to myself, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life was to start coming to the gym. One of the best decisions I've made in my life was to channel all my energy at a certain point in time into my physique. Because I feel like that, well, I believe that has served as a catalyst, like sparking other areas into my life. You know what I mean? Seeing what I did with fitness and how my body was when I first started to seeing where it is now has sparked every other area in my life where I started out kind of at zero, knowing that progress comes in due time. Now, I didn't get into fitness for women. Obviously, women is like a byproduct of fitness. You know what I mean? They want to see a sexy body just like how you want to see a sexy body on a girl. But I got into fitness because I've always wanted to be big, you know? Growing up in the projects, you see a lot of stocky dudes. And I don't know why, but well, I know why. Stockiness, especially when you live in the projects, you live in the hood, kind of, it serves as like dominance. It serves as masculinity. And then on top of that, when you are a young boy watching wrestling and you have your favorite superheroes and their physique shows athleticism, their physique shows like Greek god esque, you know. So when you seeing that and you seeing how people gravitate towards them, how people treats them, whether it's fictitious or in real life, that motivates you to get your body like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, it just signifies what a man should be. In the first area, how fitness has helped me in my life with just being disciplined. Fitness is like every other thing in life. You know what I mean? It takes time. And me starting off, I was a skinnier kid. It was hard for me to gain weight. I'm thinking if I would magically work out, I'll just magically put on the muscle. And then one day I'll wake up out of sleep way muscular and stocky than I was before. But fitness teaches you that there's steps. You know what I mean? There's a process to you building that physique. Yes, you can get a physique overnight by taking like steroids and other things to help you cheat, but it feels better when you put the work in. You know what I mean? Fitness has taught me discipline. It taught me to put all my energy and focus into one thing and keep on going whether I see the results in that moment or not. As you know in fitness, when you first start working out, you don't really see any progress. You invest time, energy, you invest in pain before you start to see your muscles grow, before you start seeing any strength gains. But as you keep on going at it, you start crossing over to the point to where your muscles start growing, your strength starts getting up. You start getting compliments from the outside world on your progress. And then that motivates you to stay in the gym and keep on going. And seeing the work in fitness has helped me start other things when it comes to entrepreneurship. When entrepreneurship gets tough and you're not seeing any progress from your work and you got to invest a certain dollar amount for you to see a return on your investment. Going through things like fitness, seeing your body transform and change over time, you understand that other areas of life should reflect the same. You know what I mean? Business, you shouldn't just start making money off the rip. You know what I mean? You should have to put a investment down prior to you making money. But understanding that the longer you stay in the race, you'll start seeing fruits from your labor. It'll all be worth it in the end. You'll be glad you always started. You know what I mean? The gym has taught me sacrifice. I was a type, I had good genetics and I can kind of eat somewhat of what I want and still see a nice physique, but I had to tweak a little bit of stuff. I had to eat a little bit more cleaner because even though I had a decent physique eating, you could say like processed foods and junk all the time, me eating clean saw how that much my physique can go. You know, that tweaking that small little detail with substituting a certain food for another just improves the quality of physique. So it lets you know sacrifice, you know what I mean, discipline, patience, not seeing the progress when you want it, but it's shown when it's the right time. Same thing in other areas of your life. You're not going to see everything when you want to see it, but you're going to see it when God shows us time to reveal it to you. So that's how fitness has helped me personally. Women, yeah, I know. Now I've always been a somewhat attractive dude, you know what I mean, just for my features, you know what I mean, my eyes, whatever. And I've always have gotten girls, you know what I mean, but I will not lie. When my body and my physique got into point, it took it to a whole nother level. I went from being cute to hot. You know what I mean? I went from being handsome to sexy in the eyes of females because my body portrayed masculinity. And I realized you can have the same face, you can have an attractive face, but if your body is kind of skinny and looks like a 14-year-old kid, it's not going to have the same effect as that same face on a manly 25 muscular built body. And I started realizing that slowly with women. You know what I mean? I went to a school with one girl, and I didn't talk to her that much in school. I knew of her, she knew of me, but we never were really friends. And I was working at Planet Fitness. I was working at the gym about 8 years ago. And this is when I first started getting into my fitness journey around my early 20s. So she came into the gym and she looked up, and I'm like looking down at the front, and she looked up. She said, "Khalid," and I looked up like, "Oh," I was like, "Hey, what's up?" She was like, "Wow, you look like a man." And in that moment, I didn't know how to take it. I'm like, I look like a man. I'm like, what the hell? And she like smiled and just walked off. I'm like, what the fuck? But then I realized what has changed since high school until 3 to 4 years later. I gained muscle. My physique caught up to my body. My physique made me look way more mature than I really was. I didn't age badly. I just looked way more mature than I really was because my physique was on point. And she noticed that. Just my physique enhanced everything around me. When you get a muscular body, it's going to chisel up your face. It's going to carve up all around your body, which makes everything just that more detailed. You know what I mean? So when she showed me that, I'm like, wow. And then over time, she saw how women treated me. You know what I mean? Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, you will get judged. You will get sexualized for having a nice body. Uh, but that comes with the territory. You know what I mean? I guess sometimes it's better to kind of be an object of attraction for women than to not stand out at all, for you to go unnoticeable with them. And females start treating me differently. They're way more nicer to you. You know what I mean? They smile, they laugh at jokes that's not even funny. Even though I'm a funny guy, I can say the corniest stuff and I can know, like, all right, you just saying that because I'm attractive. But that's what comes with the territory. And that's one thing that can make your life easier with women. You getting your body correct can save you time from going through hurdles that you not having the physique, you not looking as mature as you can, will put you through with women. Men, men over time have shown respect. You know, I think men understand how hard it is, how much discipline it takes for you to build a physique with just so much temptation in life when it comes to women, drinking, diet, all the foods that's available to you. You know, men appreciate it more than women do because men understand the grind that goes into having a good physique. And when I first started getting big, men respected me. Men calling me big man. You know what I mean? You know, men don't really, you know, we're men, so we have poker faces. We're real stoic at times. So you'll pass a man walking on the street, he won't say what's up to you, which is kind of cool. But when I built my physique, men started noticing me. My presence just kind of shined more. It was like, hey, what's up, big man? And I remember a particular story. I was working at ShopRite when I was 19. That's when I first started getting muscle. When I was 19, I stopped playing college basketball after a year and a half, and I wanted to dedicate all my time into gaining muscle and gaining weight. And basketball kind of prohibited that because I was running so much up and down the court. So I got big working in ShopRite. I'm stacking potatoes at the time. I got a short sleeve shirt on. That it was a summertime. And I was like in a mean bulk. I was around like 190 at 19. Guy came into the store. White man was like, "Hey man," as I look back. He was like, "I just want to tell you, I'm glad to see somebody out here lifting. I'm tired of seeing all these kids out here with string bean arms not lifting. I'm glad to see somebody lifting. Keep up the good work." And I'm not going to lie, it made me feel good. There's nothing like the feeling of being acknowledged for your hard work, especially from people who don't have to do it. When somebody like your family or your friends, somebody who feel like they're obligated to like give you a compliment or make you feel special because they're around you a lot of the time, it kind of can go under the radar, the compliment. But when somebody who doesn't even know you, somebody who's a complete stranger, somebody who doesn't have to do it, who went out their way to give you a compliment when they could have kept on walking because they know they're probably not going to see you again. That made the work worth it. Stuff like that. That made me want to continue to go to the gym. That let me know that I was doing something right. Not only did I notice it in myself, but a complete stranger, opposite demographic of me, noticed the same exact thing, which lets me know I was on the right path. Which lets me know I was doing something that was outside of the norm. Because like you said, most kids, especially at that age, you tiny arms. You know what I mean? You're not really working out. And if you're working out, you're not really going hard. You're in the gym goofing off, slacking off. We've seen it before, you know? But now how fitness has helped me in life. Just under, like I said, started from the beginning, just like I said, the process of fitness, I feel like the process of fitness has helped me in life because understanding that everything is interconnected and goes through the same process. Like I said, when it comes to business, when it comes to relationships, just like how you got to build a physique, great things take time. You got to show discipline at first to keep on going, whether you sort of show the results or not. You got to have patience to stick it out even when things get tough. You got to be hardworking. You got to sacrifice. When it comes to business, you gotta sacrifice spending money on things that you don't want to, that you might think you want in the moment to invest in your business to get a return later on. You might have to sacrifice going out with friends. You might have to sacrifice partying, spending money that you really don't have to spend. Same thing with fitness. You might have to sacrifice going out, drinking, certain foods you gotta eat, hanging out with certain friends, staying up late, sleep. So fitness just showed me it was a precursor to everything that I'm going to be going through in real life. And once you master one area of your life, it's easier to master others. Once you conquer one thing and you get the confidence that you prove to yourself that you can do something, everything else kind of falls like a domino effect. Everything else becomes easier because it might not be the exact same, but you dealt with similar experiences. You dealt with similar processes, which makes that next thing you go through and endure easier to experience because you know kind of the similar things that's going to happen at the end of that journey. So anybody out there, if especially if you have a hard time like just having the mindset off the rip, start working on your fitness. Your fitness can trigger a different mindset, especially when you start seeing the work from your body. It's going to trigger you to have more confidence because all confidence is proof that you did something, proof that you kept your word to yourself.